story of the St. Thomas Elevated Park, but it's really about big ideas, big challenges, how those ideas have transformed our community in the past and how they still will do so in the future. St. Thomas, before the railroad, was pretty quiet, 3,000 souls, no bridge, no railroad, except for the one from Port Stanley to London. However, in 1871, a lovely bridge was built totally out of wood, and within 1 year of the establishment of the railroad, the community increased by 75% up to 5,000 souls. 1 year. Now, life goes on, it gets a little busier, trains get bigger, busier again. They need a new bridge, this time made out of steel, 2 tracks. Population of the community has doubled to 11,000 at this point. That's only 10 years after the bridge was initially built. Now we're into 1929. Population is 15,000 people. Locomotives are heavier, trains are bigger, and even though we've just started the Depression, optimism wins out and this bridge gets built. It's an engineering marvel for its day, not just because of the way it was designed, but how it was built. They literally built the new bridge on top of the old bridge. Never stopped a train in 9 months' worth of construction, and then removed the old bridge after they were done. Now we're into today. No tracks, no trains. The line from Detroit to Buffalo is closed. What to do with this massive structure? Frankly, too expensive to tear down. Many communities have rail-to-trail projects. The one over there in Goderich is over the Minnesotong River. It's actually owned by a trail association. The other one is in St. Mary's. It's owned by the community. Very popular. But frankly, at 30 feet wide and 850 feet long and 90 feet over the valley, this is way more than just a way to get across the valley. This is a destination. So we thought to ourselves, why not an elevated park? It's a unique structure. It's had a unique heritage. It's had a unique impact in our community. We need something unique to pay tribute to it and to repurpose it. So we propose the St. Thomas Elevated Park. Now, it's not the first in the world. The first one was actually in Paris, 1994. So well integrated into its neighborhood that the facing apartment buildings all have back entrances right onto the deck of the old rail. 2009, the High Line in lower west part of Manhattan, not a part of town you ever wanted to go to back in 2009. The meatpacking district, really derelict. And yet today, 6 years later, after conversion to a park, it's the single most important tourist attraction in Manhattan, and that's saying something. Statue of Liberty, Freedom Tower, and all that. There's economic development all up and down the line, including the new Whitney Museum. Not to be outdone, London, England wants to get in on the game. They want to build the Garden Bridge. There is no bridge there. They're going to build it just so they could put a park on top of it. $260 million, an elegant way to cross the Thames River. We're not Manhattan, we're not Paris, we're not London. What makes us think we should build something like that here? Well, we don't want to undersell ourselves. Others look at us differently than we look at ourselves. We see this bridge as a place where visitors, families, people will gather, they'll walk, they'll cycle, they'll entertain themselves. The view from the bridge changes every day. It's endlessly fascinating. Visitors tell us that. We have to remember that while this was at the hub of a railroad transportation network 100 years ago, from Detroit to Buffalo, today the bridge is really at the hub of a massive network of recreation trails, north and south and east and west. In fact, our purchase of the bridge includes 4 kilometers of the rail bed all the way out to Lyle Road in Southwold. And beyond that, it's actually owned in public hands by Chatham-Kent and Essex. The vision is to get us to the Detroit River in partnerships. Will people come? People tell us in our surveying that they'll come once a week, they'll come once a month, they'll bring visitors. 90% believe that bringing friends and visitors would be a good thing to do. 91% tell us that they believe that the elevated park is a great way to solidify the railway city branding that we've undertaken. So the bridge is an asset that has been important to our community for decades. And it will continue to be because we think we can build it, we think we should build it, and frankly, with your help, we will build it. Thank you.
5 minutes flies, right? I say leave it to
5 seconds, wasn't it?
Leave it to one of the organizers to push the 5-minute boundary, eh? Think about that. Couple questions for Serge. Anyone have any questions for him?
What's the timeline on it, Serge?
Well, we've just completed our master plan, our design master plan with an outside urban design consultant. We'll use that as the template for an architectural design competition in the new year. We'll be building our main fundraising on that. We've done enough fundraising to buy the bridge, we own it, and we're managing to do enough fundraising to actually maintain it, pay the taxes and all that. We want to have people walking up there safely and enjoying it for the Sesquicentennial 2017. Beyond that, the bells and whistles will happen over a period of years. There are multiple phases that have been identified in the master plan. So really we're talking about something that's more like 10 years, but enjoying it in a year and a half.
Awesome. One more question? Go ahead.
The city is on board with it?
Well, we've consulted with the city all along, but quite frankly, we own it. They don't. We're not asking for their money. We're doing all of our fundraising privately. We've brought them in. They've been part of our consultation. They're excited about it. But as they told us in 2010, when I first brought the idea to them, they didn't want to take the risk in the investment. So contracted.
Thanks,